I had a lot of scenes with Whitney, Hannah, who is amazing and so naturally funny. Yeah. And I really found the yellow room scenes hilarious when she's promoting corporate stationery to the busy CEOs. Like, she's such a con artist that she's willing for money to enlighten busy CEOs in the stationery industry or whatever it is. It's just bonkers, and it was so funny to play and to watch, and that whole episode just kills me.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's just bizarre.
I think just like her general, the way she plays Whitney's smugness is really funny to me. Because season 1 Maggie, or Maggie that wasn't trying to get her best friend back from the claws of this woman, would just be like, you're an idiot, what are you doing? And Maggie can't do that. So to just have Whitney kind of constantly smirking at her in a really patronizing way, and Maggie just having to bite her tongue, I find that very funny.
Yeah, it was, there's like a slight bit when you start writing, you kind of want your characters, there's a weird thing for a bit where you don't want them to go through anything too difficult, but then that would be like a very boring show. So you do have to accept that it is more fun to kind of throw a grenade in and see what happens. And the grenade is Whitney. I wanted to do a love triangle. I wanted to see if it was even possible for a third person to come in and mess with them. And honestly, I didn't know how it would end. I hadn't decided how that would end. I didn't know whether they would get back together or not. I kind of wanted to see how it went as I was writing it. But I think the benefit of it is just getting to see Maggie and Eddie in very different positions than they are in the previous series, and kind of swapping around that dynamic a little bit, so that Eddie's the one that's behaving a little more erratically or a little less, like, I don't know what the word is.
In control, right? And see what happens when Maggie's the one has to kind of be the hero. I wanted Maggie to have her hero arc, which is obviously going to be a mess because she's Maggie. But I liked giving them that opportunity, and I think I think it was fun to flesh out different parts of them as well, which, you know, there's only 6 like 23 minutes episodes in each series, which is so short really, and you kind of have to pick and choose what you explore. But I think I wanted to make sure we went somewhere slightly different than the first series. How many series were there?
Honestly, Rob, who plays Will, just killed me. There's a thing in the industry that we call business, which basically, sorry if I'm explaining this and it's a very obvious thing, I don't know, but it's like, it means like the amount of prop movement you have to do in a scene. Yeah. And most actors avoid it like the plague because it's so difficult. And Rob does the most ridiculous amount of business. And then he takes 2 laptops out of his trousers, puts them on the desk. He like has one pair of glasses on top of the other, moves, pins something. And like, that was just so funny. Sorry, that's slightly off the question you asked me to do, but I just needed to like give him props for that. But yeah, I loved it. I think we had a lot of fun playing the silliness so of the control room, acting like we were in an action film. That was very, very fun to shoot.
Thank you. It's I call it my tiny action movie. I wanted to make a tiny action film on a budget. I was also watching a lot of Severance when I wrote it, which I think you can really tell. There's a lot of hallways. There's a lot of like Severance joke references in it. I would say if you can go with me on that episode, then you are my dream audience, because it's pretty big and it's strange, but I always loved, I'm a massive Buffy fan, and I always loved like the Scooby gang coming together to save the day. I wanted to see that, and getting to put the whole ensemble into one space. I mean, that's just the dream. It's so fun to have all those actors together. They're so funny with each other. And I knew that each of them would really Rob, who plays Will, he's such an incredible comic actor, but on the day we were filming his entrance, he comes in and takes like 2 laptops out of his trousers. None of that was written. He practiced that for hours and came in and did it. And I could not be in the room. It was making me laugh so much. I was like, how did you even think how are you fitting those laptops in your pants? First of all, there was so much, everyone really went with it. I think it could have really fallen flat on its feet, if we didn't all really just push that tone, that we were going big, going home. We were doing I was like 90s action film energy. My references were like Apollo 13 and The Truman Show. So I was like that, but on our budget and also 23 minutes long. And everyone just like our production designer Michael Ralph, he ate that episode up. Like all of that is built from scratch. We shot it in our production base, like truly just like bare bones. But I'm really proud of how it came together. Also, our composer Jeremy, I was like, hey, by the way, I want you to do wall-to-wall score like an action film. Fit that into your schedule, and he absolutely pulled it off. I'm thrilled with how it came together.
It's really exciting to we have a backstory like that we create ourselves as actors, but having it on the page and being able to play it out was really fun, and it made their characters for me so much richer, and so it was so enlightening to see what they were like and when they won the awards and what kind of friendship they had, and it was really beautiful and also just really fun to get into the different makeup and costume looks.
Yeah, Jessie Dial, who is the hair and makeup designer this year, was absolutely incredible. I'd worked with Jessie on Bridgerton, and this was her first design job, and she just knocked it out of the park.
She did.
Like, yeah, Rob's emo hair and
the wigs,
the big fringes, and then the big lashes. Just everything. It really made us laugh and realize how many unfortunate eyebrow trends there have been over the years. But yeah, it was just lovely. Those were some of my favorite scenes to film, because it also shows the contrast between what friendships are in your 20s and in your 30s, and that awkward transition period, because you do realize you're going on to a next stage of life, and everyone's at different levels of maturity, and it was very fun.
I knew they met at Wetmouth, and I think in series 1 I was like, yeah, they probably met during like a night out and Maggie came to the bar and they got on. But when I started writing this one, I was like, well, that's not that particularly interesting a scene. And then it just sort of came to me, and I realized that would be a nice meeting point for them, because I think the way you would fall in love with Maggie is Maggie if she's in a good place, she could cheer anyone up, I think. Like if you've just lost your dad and you're feeling really alone and adrift, someone like Maggie would really warm up your life. And I wanted to see that, because I think sometimes in series 1, you maybe thought like, why does Eddie put up with her? And it's like, well, because they both bring something to this friendship. They both have things that they bring. No one is everything, and maybe more extreme in Maggie than other people. But I thought that was a good, and I also think if you're Eddie, and when you think of that day of your dad's wake, Maggie's there's something about that was kind of beautiful to me.
I don't know, you kind of, when I made the show or make anything, you just hope it hits in like that point in time. I think any show that anticipates more season and more work, I think for a writer, I don't know, I'm not one, but I think you try and put all your ideas into that season so you can smash it. I think with making things for the future is not really real because it doesn't exist yet. So I am just really happy with where it is now. I'm always open to collaborating further on great jobs, and we all had such great fun and we're all such good friends. But for now, I just really hope people enjoy this season.
And it's genuinely a job. I know people always go, well, we're all great friends. We all genuinely are really good friends. So I think the one thing we're looking forward to is hanging out, not at work at all. Not talking about Big Mood, just all being together. I need to have everyone over for a barbecue.
I really don't know. I'm really happy with where we get to at the end of the second series. If we did do a third series, I think I know where I would go with it, but I don't see it as like an endlessly returning show. It's never been that to me, because I wanted to specifically tell the story of this friendship in this place. So I don't know, question mark? I think I could go either way.
I want more, I need to feel that full power.